Hi everyone, and happy Friday. So our flip through Friday today does look a little small, but I'm going to add to this. So I did order a number of books through Amazon. I know, like, I need any more books as usual, but they are a little slow to get here. I did get one this week, so what I'm going to do is we're going to do a flip through of these two books, and then I'm going to shift over to my computer and we're going to take a look at some freebies that are out there. So if you have a printer and you're looking for some different stuff to color, maybe some different artists to try, I've got a couple of freebies that you may or may not know about that I'd like to share, so that are out there. So anyway, we're going to do that, and then when all those books come in, I think next week we'll probably have a pretty full flip through Friday of physical books. So we're going to start today with Botanicum by Maria Trolle. I do have a couple of her books, Nightfall and Flora. Have I colored in them? No. But that's going to change. I know it's going to change. I've been eyeing this for a long time, watching other people color in it. I actually didn't get this one from Amazon. I got it from Abe's Books, and I don't know how I found it on there, but it was just like $1 or $2 cheaper, and I probably got it quicker than I would have through Amazon, so win-win. I did order this, I would say a few weeks ago, but for everything to me is a few weeks ago, so it could have been a month ago, so who knows. But anyway, it is a hardback book. If you're looking at an average size coloring book, like letter size, length, and width, like this one is, it is not quite as tall. It is as wide as a, basic letter size coloring book. But again, you get this nice perde hardcover with some of the gold leaf embossing, whatever you call it. I didn't mean to pop you in the face, Oreo. I'm sorry. He sensed I was doing a video in here. Y'all know how he is. He just knows. He knows. This is what the back looks like. I will physically zoom in and move that away for a second. There you go. If you want to pause and look at it, you can. Bring it back. Sorry. I've got to rethink my lighting situation for inside. Hi, Oreo. Hi, Oreo's dandruff. How are you doing? Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. I was moving stuff for you, you fool. They're so ungrateful, so ungrateful. And he's going to click the mouse and probably turn the video off. We're going to try to jump ahead of him there. There we go. He'll sit there for a few minutes till he realizes it's not going to get him anything. So, alright. But yeah, no, I have to fix my lighting situation here. It is a constant hassle when I am trying to color and when I'm trying to record. It's a good light, but it's a good focus light, but I guess it's not a real good light for like recording, so I've got to come up with something here. So these are double-sided pages. Keep that in mind. That is the shadow from the camera thing. I apologize for that. Let's see if I can fix that. It's not as bad. Let's get a little creative here. Okay. Well, y'all are like, you were super prepared, Michelle. Good job. There, fixed it. Okay. So double-sided. Here is the copyright page, and then this book belongs to. So these are, again, as I said, double-sided pages. Really nice, smooth, thicker paper. I've seen a number of people use watercolor pencils, 8/10, water-based mediums on these. I have not tried them myself yet, though obviously that is a goal. I don't think I've flipped through this book entirely, but if you are familiar with her work, this will probably not be a big surprise. I do like that she has some pictures that are a little more complex, but there's also some pictures like this one where maybe a slow colorist such as myself, hello, or like this, might not have to spend as much time on, and then there are other pictures that are a little more detailed. So if I wanted to color something like this but not necessarily do a background, then these are some really nice pictures to maybe kind of cut my teeth on, so to speak, before like I really tackle some of the more intricate stuff like that one. And I have a special place in my heart for the black background pages. I love that squirrel. And of course the girl with the kitty. Same girl, different girl with a kitty. This would probably be a good opportunity for like a chalk pastel or a watercolor type wash background. As I've said before, the beauty about backgrounds is like you can always color one of these pictures and then be like, you could color the picture itself and then say, I don't feel like doing the background now, but I want to do one, and you can always come back later and do it. Just because you finish the picture right then and there doesn't mean you can never ever come back to it. There are a very good amount of pictures in here. I'm not sure what the exact number is. I do not give my hardback books any love. It's actually quite sad. I need to change that. I think part of it's just being nervous about messing something up. But we got to start changing that. Alcohol markers, I would assume, will bleed through on this, so I would not recommend doing that with these unless you really just don't care about the image on the other side. Which is fine if that's what you want to do. I would say I really like a majority of the pictures in here. There are a few that I'm kind of meh on, but I'm not sure how black acrylic paint, like if you wanted to black out the outer, like the outer edge of this, I'm not sure how the acrylic paint will do. I don't know if I've seen anybody actually use that in here, but seeing as how it usually works in other books, I don't think it would be a problem. I do wish she had more pictures with the black backgrounds. I appreciate that she does include some of them, but I wish there were more. I don't know, it's just something about that black background, even not even being like a night sky, but just even if the black it was black around this, it just to me makes the images pop so much more. I wonder how like Crayolas and water-based markers would do in here. That might be something to test out, like on that front, like the copyright page with the small image on it or something. That might be a good thing to try there. It's a shame I didn't color any bunnies for Easter. There were plenty of them in here. I struggle, I think, again, I'm struggling with animals, and that should be like a challenge for me because I get nervous at the idea of having to color animals, I guess. So I need to fix that. Well, that's cute. What are those? I wonder. I do love all the kitty pictures, but I have to admit, I mean, subconsciously, what I just said, I love all the animal pictures, but I am, of course, partial to the kitty pictures, and this would be perfect for Christmas. So back here, oh, okay, so this is helpful. On all the pages, she actually lists what the plants are. So that one page I was looking at where they were carrying, it looked like some sort of berry or something. I can figure out which page that was here. You can go back and look, and then I can figure out what it is. So there's also an insects register for the different types of insects, which is cool. And these are the scientific names, so obviously you could Google them and figure it out. Oh, and here's a test page right here. So cool. And there's the back cover. Now the other physical book I have to show you. We all know how much I love my color by number, and I didn't even know about Color Questopia until I watched Lisa's Coloring Corner. She had a number of videos where she featured books by Color Questopia. I do have another one coming. I think it's called Cats and Kittens. I know, big shock right there. But this one really jumped out at me as one of their books I also wanted to try. Again, you know how much I love the color by numbers, and this was right up my alley. So this is Fairy Magic by Color Questopia. It is a basic letter-sized book. There is a color key on the back with some information right here if you want to take a look. I was looking at the different colors. There's like a dark orange. Ooh, I bet the Adobe orange and like the Bic, I think they call them Bic Intensity pens now, would be a good choice for that one. So here we go. You know, I think what I'm going to start doing is when I put these in the description, I'm going to try to, if I have to physically count them, go ahead and figure out how many images are in each book, and then when I feature them in the descriptions, I'll put next to them how many pages are in there. Coloring pages, of course. So, because I know sometimes you want to know how many images you're getting for what you're paying. So, and some books are really good about telling you, others not so much. So we're going to start doing that. Fairy Magic, color by number. Here's the title page. And here is where you get started. These are Amazon printed books, I believe. Feels like an Amazon. Wait, maybe not. That is interesting. See, normally, if it's an Amazon printed book, it will tell you right here, it'll say like printed in, hang on, let me grab this Deborah Muller book I've got. So like the Deborah Muller Christmas Magic book. This is what the back looks like of usually any Amazon printed book. So it'll say made in USA, it'll tell you the location, and the date it was printed, and then it's got like a barcode. But this one does not have that. It says printed in the USA, CPSIA. So that's interesting. I'll have to look at that. I thought this was Amazon printed, but it may not be. So, interesting. Anyway, these are single-sided images. It looks like they have the color chart on the left side and then your picture there on the right. These do have lines similar to like the mosaics in Sun Life Drawing. It's got outlines here. Now Lisa does a really cool thing where she'll use like a silver gel pen or something to go over the lines, and then that way when she goes in with the alcohol marker it doesn't bleed into them, and she gets really good results that way. I have not tried that yet because I don't have that kind of patience, but I would like to try it in the future. So even a black gel pen would be interesting to try. So we'll get started. Now the color chart changes This is different than Sun Life in that the color chart does change with each page. So one isn't always yellow. Here it's peach on this page. So these do feel like, this does feel like pretty thin paper. So just a heads up there, you definitely want to use like a blotter page or pages behind each image. I think even if you're coloring with pencil, I would recommend it. But these are super cute. I don't know, just the design of them is really nice. And I know I needed another color by number image, like I needed a hole in my head, but here we are. I might start on one of these this weekend. So I might start it out just leaving the white lines and seeing how this page, how this paper bleeds with marker. I have a feeling it will probably bleed pretty good. Which if it does, then I can always wait till the end and go back over the lines with a gel pen. So that's a cute Halloween one. I think that's her sitting on a pumpkin. Maybe. You can count it as Halloween. And like I said, they do have a number of different types. That's kind of like a Tinkerbell. They do have a number of different types of color by number books. There are some others that I kind of have an eye on, but I haven't done anything with yet. I mean, there's only so much room in my bookcase. Though, I do feel a purge coming on because I had straightened up and I rearranged some of my coloring materials today. So I feel like I'm going to be going through my books. I was freeing up more room on my bookshelf. So they do have bonus images at the end. So they have a Dragon Fantasy book. And there is that one. I'm sorry, Oreo. Poor guy. I promise he was laying in my husband's lap for like a couple hours this morning. He gets plenty of attention. Amazing Dogs. Which, that's a pretty cute picture. I like that one. Amazing Owls. We all know my weird owl kick. That looks like that's a little bit bigger area. That might just happen to be that type of picture. Beautiful Cities and Landmarks. Don't know what that is, but it does look cool. Fanciful Thoughts. I like that one too. And then a Please Leave Us a Review on Amazon. So these seem to be not super big areas to fill in, but not a super hard to see the numbers kind of George Tufexis color by number. These are kind of in between, I would say. And the numbers are gray. Depending on what you use, you may not even see the numbers much when you actually color. They are a fair size though. I could probably color this on the couch and see those. The problem would be trying to stay in the lines. So, alright, well that concludes the physical coloring book portion of this. Now we're going to bounce over to the computer, and I'm going to show you some online freebies that you can snag. So be right back. And here I am on for the second part of this. And like I said, a lot of people aren't necessarily interested in the digital stuff because either they don't like having to print out stuff or they can't for some reason. But when I come across like ways you can try new artists, then I like to be able to share that. Or if they have like an Etsy shop, or I find a new artist that does mostly digital downloads, I like to feature them every now and then. What I will say to preface all of this is that while these are free downloads, I don't look at them as, you know, like, I look at these as trying new artists, trying their work that I may not be familiar with, which all of them, but, well, I take that back. Two of them I'm familiar with, and the other two I'm not really familiar with. So when I look at these are just trying out some of their coloring books, trying out some of their different art to see if I like it. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. You know, this is in the future, I would like to actually purchase from these artists rather than just saying, okay, well, I'm only going to get a free download from them and haha, I get a free download. You know, does that make any sense? Hopefully it makes sense. I don't know. All right, so with that weird kind of notation, this here is the, I saw this on Facebook, and I can't remember if it was in a group or something like that, but apparently Adobe is offering coloring book downloads with featured artists in each of their, each part. They have a number of different artists. So I am not sure how to actually navigate to this through their site. I have looked through here trying to figure it out, and I haven't had any luck. So I will put the link in the description. And again, I found this, it was shared on Facebook, so I think it's from Adobe itself, to be honest. So this isn't like just some sneaky thing I found. I think Adobe itself was promoting this. So basically they're new illustrations that you can print or actually finish digitally using an Adobe app. And it says each week this spring, the Adobe Coloring Book will feature coloring pages created by some of our favorite artists. So each week they have a chapter, and it has different, like a different subject matter, I guess. And like I said, all of these chapters are available to download. I think each download has 4 or 5 images. We're going to look at Mermaid, which is the most recent chapter that they have. So if I click here, it shows you how to open it in Fresco if you use it like that. It does give you different formats to download if you like. And then you can actually, if you color them and share them, they have a social media hashtag, which is really cool. So they show small little snippets of each image, and they show the different artists, which is super cool. Like this guy was actually an animator for 12 years working on films like Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, Aladdin, Pocahontas. So you get a really neat variety of artists on here. And then here is Dachi Ito. Hopefully I didn't mess that up. Alyssa Levy. So you go through here and you get to see the different artists, and they do put their social media information there if you want to learn more about them. So I think that's really cool that they do that. Then you can download it, and then if you click that, it takes you to a Dropbox link, and you just click on that, and you can either hit the download button here. You can do a direct download or save to your own Dropbox. So of course I've downloaded it, and this is what it looks like. So it shows you what the artist for each one, who the artist is. I like these a lot. The mermaid one is by far my favorite so far. It gives you a nice variety of images, and boy, you can tell he was a Disney animator, right? Like, I love that picture. Love it. So yeah, you get a handful of images with each chapter, which I think is super cool. So that's one I haven't seen around very much, but I think is a really neat idea. So no, not yet. So like I said, the link to that is in the description, and keep checking back there because they're probably going to do a few more, I suspect. So there is the Adobe Coloring Book. Then we have Selina Fenech, and again, not sure how to pronounce that. I do not have any of her work. I keep looking at it. I keep looking at other people, who have colored in her books. Her and Elena Lazareva are two that I keep looking at, and like I haven't actually bought any of their books yet. And I don't know why. They just never happen to come up when I'm actually looking. So but she's definitely one that I do want to purchase from in the future. So I believe you can sign up for her newsletter through her site and get like a download sampler of stuff, which is pretty cool. She also does fantasy novels and books too, which is super cool if you are into that kind of stuff. I think that's cool. So, but Coloring Heaven, it has a section where you can actually sign up to get a coloring sampler from Selina Fenech to try out. And you can sign up for her newsletter and receive this PDF sampler. You have to sign up specifically through this Coloring Heaven link. So again, I will provide that in the description, and you receive a download link in your email. That download link does expire, so I would suggest if you do that, you download it sooner rather than later. And so then you get a PDF file. It looks like this. You have terms of use. Now, one thing I don't want to do here, because I'm sitting here trying to look, I want to make sure I don't mess anything up by showing you guys this. I don't think so. Alright, so these are just samplers from her different books. And I'm just going to show a few. We're not going to scroll through all 50. Like I said, I don't want to share all the goodies. And love this one. You knew I was going to love that one. But I love this work. So now I've got to... does this say where they're from? It does not. Dang it. Oh well. Anyway, super cool. And like I said, a great way to check out her work. Then with her, then we'll go over to somebody everybody's familiar, most people are familiar with in the coloring world, and that's Johanna Basford. She has a newsletter you can sign up for, and she does have a site or a section on her website that's called Happy Place. It's the Inky Happy Place. And these are, if you're familiar with any of the stuff she does on Instagram or some of the competitions and stuff that she does offer some free downloads. So you've got her 80 Days of Flowers and some of her other different samplers from her other books. If you want to try out a couple images or see what the images look like before you purchase them. So she does have those. She also has her mini book that she has made available for free to download. And if you go to her blog like I did there, it's called Flourish. And it's a little mini coloring book. If you go to the read more part and scroll down, she does encourage this to be shared. She was nice enough to make this available just because of everything that's going on recently, and I just think that's super cool. But from here you can download the book, which again is a PDF file. I'm sure most of you know this exists, but just in case you don't, I did want to show you this. So these are new images. These are not from any of her other books. And they are super cute, as usual, no surprise. I like the little mini images. Those would be good, like if I just want to color one day, but I don't want to color a lot. You do get a pattern page right here too. I think I saw Claire, Color with Claire, post this maybe on Instagram. So anyway, there's that one. And like I said, her other creative resources page. And then finally, we have Vivid Publishers. If you're not familiar with them, they do a number of really gorgeous, a lot of gorgeous ladies and men. If you like coloring people, I think they're a good choice. I believe I have both of the Reverie books right here, but I don't have any of the others. But anyway, beautiful art in all their books. I really like them a lot. They do have, and I'm not sure why it didn't pop up, where you can sign up again for a newsletter for them, and I think get like a sampler download. You can also get a free PDF with your paperbacks, which is super cool. I did not know that. I've got to look at my books for that one. So if you pop over their PDF shop, you scroll down, they do sell the PDF versions of their books if you don't want the paper versions. But you see this one here, it says get this free. So when you take a look at it, it is basically a sampler from the two books I mentioned, the August Reverie, I believe is how you say that, and then the Saga Fire and Water book. So what you do is you just add it to your cart, make sure they apply the discount, and you go through and check out, and you don't have to put in, any credit card information, and you get it for free. And so then they send a download link to you, and then this is what you get, is a PDF and a little intro information. It shows you what book it's from, and then shows you the images themselves. So I think you get 3 images from each book, and then it shows you like the thumbnails of what they look like as well. So again, a super cool way to try out the Vivid Publishers. Am I saying this right? Yes. Try out the art from Vivid Publishers if you're interested in them. I'm kind of curious about this Wall of Phantasm book, to be honest. So like, I need any more books. But anyway, I will put the links to these in to the specific spots in the description, and hopefully enjoy. Like I said, I think this is a great way to try out new artists or publishers before you actually purchase. And like in the case of Johanna Basford and the Adobe Coloring Book, they're just offering free art just to be cool, right? Like, just, and for Adobe and for Johanna Basford's also to feature, their art themselves. If you aren't familiar with the different artists and are interested in looking at more of their art. So hopefully this was helpful, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.